Today, our journey, like many others, begins at a railway station. But this time, I cannot tell you where we are, because it is a secret. You'll not find this train on the electronic board or in the timetable, but it runs, unfortunately, much more often than we would like. As you have already guessed, this is an evacuation train, and today we have the opportunity, I would even say the honor, to film from the inside how this hospital on wheels works. I know that in the 4th year of the full-scale war, you, dear viewers, want less and less to see war on television. And you would definitely prefer to watch my journeys through the jungle instead of this train. But I promise you that the patients and the staff of this train will absolutely surprise you and even inspire you. And what we have filmed is definitely something every Ukrainian should see. The process must be as fast as possible. The passengers here are different. Some get on the train on their own. Some need help. And for some, boarding becomes a real trial.
Do you feel anything?
No. Now the slippers will kick in. Yep, I'm ready. Go on. There it goes. Oh my. Camels on Volodarka. Listen, friend, it will still feel a bit unpleasant. 1, 2, 3. That's it. That's it. At all times, humanity tried to crack the formula of strength. Archimedes looked for a point of leverage. Galileo revealed the laws of mechanics. And Newton said that force is action. To be strong, you must keep moving. Ukrainians have been proving this truth for the 4th year in a row. When it seems we are about to run out of strength, every time we find new and new sources of power in motion and in action. Ukrainians defend. You see, live combat work is underway. Love.
Kiss.
Overcome. Where are you climbing? Zhenya, the rope ends there. Preserve identity. What are you doing? Don't rock the car. Explore. Such tiny paws, thinner than matches. Safe. I pinched it. Give me. Believe. A church choir, a kids choir. Live. What then is the formula of Ukrainian strength? Let's find out together. The World Inside Out with Dmytro Komarov, Ukraine. The first thing I noticed is the very high quality, unexpected equipment of the train. Inside what seems to be an ordinary carriage is a real mobile hospital. Instead of the traditional announcements from conductors, the wounded listen to the initial briefing from the doctors. A request: photos, videos, minimum information. Especially when we depart, when we arrive. Antibiotics, so that we don't interrupt the course of treatment. Pain relief, Cossacks, we give it when needed. You say it, we do it. But a request: don't endure the pain. Such trains allow medics to fully continue treating dozens of patients 24/7, right on the move, without waiting to arrive in big cities. This is the largest and most reliable method of evacuating the wounded in Ukraine. Where am I? Oh, you are slowly coming around. Where are you from? From Lviv region. Does it hurt? We'll treat you and you'll go home. A bit later. The team of railway workers and medics finishes the final preparations. Hello, Dmytro. Oleksandr, very nice to meet you. What is your role here? I'm the chief of the evacuation team. The chief of the evacuation team is the head of the medics who is responsible for organizing, coordinating, and ensuring the safety. He checks everything and personally oversees the treatment of the wounded. If this were an ordinary passenger train, Oleksandr's position would simply be called the train chief. Today we will follow your route and we will not interfere. You tell us what is allowed and what is not. Our main goal is to record this in history, to show it and not to cause harm. We are now at the stage of strategic evacuation, which already involves evacuation for further inpatient specialized treatment. Previously, all the wounded were first delivered to the nearest big city and hospital. The new system of strategic precision evacuation has changed everything. Already at the stabilization point, it is clearly determined which medical facility and which doctor the patient will be sent to, according to the type and complexity of the injuries. How many wounded people are here now? Many. Shall we leave that undisclosed? Yeah, leave that off camera. Will someone be doing the rounds? I do. May we walk with you? You may, but I have already checked on them. I do it again. I constantly walk because situations vary and injuries are severe. At first glance, a patient may be stable, everything seems fine, and suddenly there is a complication. Therefore, constant observation and constant monitoring are needed. You'll see the entire process directly now. Such trains are a kind of construction set. In the so-called tents, carriages with 10 lying places are the soldiers with minor and more complex injuries, and the severely wounded are evacuated in intensive care carriages. There are also ordinary compartment cars for medics and railway workers. I'm honored. I want a photo for... With pleasure. Sure, sure. My wife. I will crouch a bit lower. Thank you. Sashko, Dmytro, I'm waiting for you to... Sashko, come here, come. I just adore the world inside out, so you found the company. If you are interested, we can talk. We can talk. Of course, I'd like to talk with you not here and not like this, but under different circumstances. I'd very much like to talk with you for a long time. Is there a fever? We'll see. This is one of the medical team members who will be monitoring the condition of the wounded throughout the entire journey. Everything is fine. Please tell me, what was that? FPV. Drones that are flying there. They move quietly. You almost don't hear them. The detonation is instant. The boys pulled me out very quickly. A brother in arms. He did everything on time, applied the tourniquet and marked the time. They took me out very fast. Somewhere there was a transfer. I don't really remember it. And that was the moment when I was already on the edge. Between, as you say, the worlds? Yes, the worlds. Massive blood loss, right? Very massive. I had in fact already said goodbye to life at that moment. If fate turned out that way, then so be it. But I wanted to see my son. I will see him. I don't know how to talk to my son. What do you mean? My son does not know. How old is he? 6 years old. How do I explain to him why my leg is gone? How will I play football with him? I don't know. This, of course, is hard to accept. For people like me, it's even hard to understand. I mean, no one will understand until they've been through it. But global experience shows that people climb Everests and run, so you'll definitely succeed. I will do everything for that. 100%. I don't plan to stop. And you, as someone who is part of Ukraine's history, what would you like to keep? I would like people to create something new, to create history, to create a positive history, to create life. One must love, must value life. I value my life very much. I want to see my son, my wife. Fortunately, you'll see them. Thank you for the conversation, for your openness. I really like your work. I love traveling. Where do you want to go? The Dominican Republic and Bali. I haven't been to the Dominican Republic, but Bali is magnificent. Your dream will definitely come true. After the war, or maybe let the war end sooner and let all dreams come true. Take care of him. Take care of Sashko? Yes, yes. I take care. Just unbelievable. A person who has just received a severe injury and gone through an amputation is asking me to take care of the operator Sashko. To think first about their brothers in arms and the closest people and not about themselves, no matter how hard it is, that trait is inherent to most of our soldiers. And you feel it in every conversation. The guys are fighting. The guys are holding on there, so I'll get treated and come back. And back to, of course, who else but us? We've been fighting for 4 years straight with the guys. So I'll get treatment and come back. You inspire, thank you. I recognized you right away. Thank you as a keepsake, a little patch. Oh, thank you. From our brotherhood, from one to another. Travel, shoot, love. Travel, that is my motto. I remember watching you back in school, I liked it. The show is now 15 years old, and how old are you? 30. Oh, so for 15 years. That's why I recognized you right away. To be honest, before this trip, I was worried whether cameras and filming would irritate the soldiers during such a difficult time. Whether they would understand that we don't want to hurt them, but only want to capture historic moments of the war, and they themselves are the most important part of modern history. But I worried for nothing. Our crew was welcomed on the train incredibly warmly. Thank you for being here, thank you. Everything is on schedule, precise. Do we need to go out? We must feed the guys so they can have a bite. Let's get acquainted then. Chief anesthesiologist of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, Oleksandr Dmytriev. Very nice to meet you. It is a great honor to meet you in person and shake your hand. Are you here by chance today, or was this your plan? By chance, I was sent on duty, and right now I am on my way back. If we could... Shall we step aside? Because the guys will be eating, right? Yes, yes. Good afternoon. Bon appetit. So how is the lunch? Had a little snack? Good afternoon. Enjoy your meal. Once again, I noticed that every member of this crew, regardless of position, tries to cheer the guys up and show their care. We are very, very, very lucky. Because today on this train, we have the chief anesthesiologist of the armed forces, Mr. Oleksandr. He's one of the developers of the first Ukrainian evacuation train of this type. And now he's going to show us how everything here works. Here you see this is an ordinary train. Same, the carriages are connected to each other. And this is the generator car. It provides an uninterrupted power supply so that the medical equipment works. So that this is a fully functioning hospital on wheels. Greetings. Please tell us about the equipment. What do we have? We have here a generator that is quite powerful. It is about 50 kilowatts. And here I see the batteries. Yes, this is the uninterruptible power supply system. In case the generator overheats or fails, we have more than 4 hours of fully autonomous operation powered only by the battery packs. But that is not all. This is the backup generator. It switches on when needed. In every car? Yes, even despite having the diesel generator. So each carriage of this train is autonomous and energy independent. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good. How are your patients? Fine. Everything is good now. How do you call a carriage of this type? These are medical wards in simple terms, right? You could say these are cars for the severely wounded. Since 2014, wounded soldiers have been transported in regular open-plan carriages with the bunks cut off. And in March of 2022, these fully refitted hospitals on wheels were made. Here the access to the bed is full. This is not a regular bed. It is a standard hospital stretcher. Here I can see it is fixed here with straps. What for? What do you think? So what, it does not move? This is also correct, but to evacuate the guys quickly. So, for example, if there is a fire in the carriage, you take a knife cut. Yes, all this equipment is attached to these rails and you take them out. Yeah, immediately. At first, the wounded were carried into these cars manually on stretchers. Only later, where the doorways widened so that hospital beds could be wheeled in and out. All patients are taken care of, and whatever medical prescriptions they had at the previous stage where they were treated in a hospital, they receive here. Is it comfortable? Nice. It is very cool here. The air conditioner works. You see, here is a mobile air conditioner. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Can we distract you? Yes, you can. What's your name? Alexander. I'm Dmytro. From which brigade are you, Alexander? Loot, a policeman. A policeman. I have worked with your guys many times. Have you heard about this train before ending up here? No. I only saw evacuation buses on the road in the Kharkiv region. What are your impressions? Quite comfortable. Where did you get your injury? The Touretsk direction. Hit a mine in an armored vehicle during evacuation. You were inside the vehicle, right? I was behind the wheel. So Alexander himself spent 2 years rescuing wounded fighters from the hottest spots, and now he's been rescued. I drove very far, even to places where no one thought anyone could get. Evacuated many people, did a lot of good work. But it happened that I also needed evacuation. That moment when it blew up, what do you remember? The entire vehicle interior is filled with flames. So I tried to open the door, and at that moment the vehicle flew off the road. Fortunately, the doors were not jammed, so everyone who stayed alive managed to evacuate. Not everyone returned. What did this injury change first in your perception of the world? And do such events change you much? My personal thoughts bother me a bit. Whether I will be able to recover physically to the level where I can return to my unit and get behind the wheel again and work on the same level with the whole team. I am a lower rank commander, but still a commander. And on one hand, I am an example for my subordinates. I wouldn't want to be a burden in the unit. Are you in touch with all your brothers in arms? Yes, they call, support me, and I'd really like to return to them. Thank you for the conversation. All the best to you. Some fighters are in a stage of primary reaction, an emotional shock they have not yet come out of. Most of them still have not realized what happened. Their thoughts are still there. Those who are without communication, we give them phones, they call their commanders. Well, that is their life. You must understand. Just as simple things save lives. Simple things may save the world. Someone finds a breath of air and calls to friends. Someone plays video games. And someone like this guy watches a movie. Sit down, please. May I sit? Thank you. You're watching a movie, I see. What are you watching? Dances with the Wolves. What is the film about? It's about a soldier who lives near the Native Americans. He befriends those Native Americans. It is his journey. It takes place on their land. He discovers all about their culture, how they live, how they treat nature, animals, how they get their food, and where they live. This is only the beginning of the film. Do you like it? Yeah, it's a good movie. Very interesting. You got me interested. I'll even write it down. Dances with Wolves. Here you've told me about a part of my former work before the full-scale invasion, when I was also in the jungle with macaques. Very interesting. So still, despite where you are now, despite what is happening, you really want real life, real emotions. Yes, I want freedom for this war to end, to return home, to our loved ones, to go somewhere and see how other people live, to fight for our independence, in a word, to stand. But whatever it sounds like, well, everyone is already tired of this war. So many young guys who haven't yet seen this life fell for our homeland. I think human lives are more valuable than territories. How did you receive the injury? We were in the Kupiansk direction. We were moving out to bring provisions about a kilometer away because we had the very front line there. And we ran into a recon group and they ambushed us. There were 4 of them. We killed 2 and 2 ran away. We kept moving. They just shot you with an automatic rifle. Yes, I have a bullet wound in my leg. At first, I didn't even understand. I just fell, started crawling away. We hid behind a tree and began firing back. I wanted to stand up, couldn't. Realized that my leg wasn't working. There were 10 of us there, and I was crawling 7th in the line. The guys were in front, 2 were covering me because they couldn't carry me. The forest was too dense. Roughly a kilometer I crawled out, and an evac came on a quad bike. The guys loaded me, took me out, and then the medics already took care of me, put my leg together and applied a bandage. After that, I don't remember anything because I was on sleeping meds. What are you thinking about now? What do you dream about? I want to go home. Who's waiting? My parents and my sisters are waiting, friends as well. Do they already know what happened? Some of them, yes, not all, but they know. Do your parents know? I told my father, briefly, and I told my mom that I fell from a vehicle, because my mom mentally worries about me very much, and I think I'll tell it somehow to Dad, because someone will tell him anyway. Thank you. Thank you. A little patch as a memory. Let's take a photo too. Let's do it. And enjoy your movie. Thank you. Now we are entering the resuscitation car. This is a full-scale intensive care carriage. A resuscitation station is equipped the same way as in any medical facility. A patient monitor, syringe pumps, a ventilator and oxygen concentrators. Each patient has a special chart. They mark all indicators, how much of which solutions were given, the temperature, the pulse. In this carriage, there are 5 patients. This number is chosen so that medics have access to each wounded soldier's bed from all sides. We can take a look. Here you have absolutely all the equipment. Right now, this man is on artificial lung ventilation. This is nutrition administered through a vein because, unfortunately, he cannot eat on his own. All equipment is modern, so essentially it is a fully fledged hospital. The only difference is that it is constantly in motion. And the limitation is the shaking. This is the drawback. It shakes and we can't do anything. I'll hold on here, okay?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. On crossings and on turns, the train reduces its speed so that there is not such a strong vibration. The guy is very badly injured. What happened to him? Tell us. Greetings to you. What is your name? Maxim Mykolaievich. A large injury in the area of the face and the facial scalp. I'm sorry, does he have decent chances to survive? Everyone has chances, and we fight till the end for every single patient. We have no priority that one patient deserves attention and another does not. If he is more serious, that simply means he deserves a bit more attention. For such a severe patient, if not for this train, the situation would be much worse. Right now, he is relatively stable. He could be evacuated by air, but there are quite many patients and priority is given to the heaviest ones, who must be delivered to a hospital urgently. Friends, I'm in a helicopter right now. It is small, maneuverable and fast. Yet it has enough space for a lying patient, and the rear doors allow for easy loading of wounded soldiers. This is an airborne medical evacuation, when fighters with extremely severe injuries must be delivered to a hospital very quickly. And now I'm flying east together with a medical team. It must be done urgently. In critical cases, when every minute plays a huge role, delivering by helicopter is much faster than by any other transport. Therefore, despite all the risks of war, aeromedical evacuation is actively used here. Before the full-scale war, helicopters were a work vehicle for me in many countries. We flew everywhere, from deserted Amazon jungles to passing right next to the Christ the Redeemer statue in Rio de Janeiro. Dozens of mountain expedition flights, evacuations from the Himalayas during illnesses, both mine and the operators. I blessed the land from a bird's-eye view together with the Colombian bishop in Buenaventura. There were flights with Brazilian police and incredible airborne adventures with the Pakistan army in Kashmir. We flew over Cambodia and our Mount Hovela. Today's flight is special. I don't have a crew with me, not even a cameraman, because there's no room on board. So today I'm both the director and the cameraman. This makes filming more difficult, but I promise you some historic footage. Now I want to introduce you to the team of heroes. the medics who work in these conditions. Hold on, hold on. Filming without an operator is so awkward. I'm making myself a natural tripod. Can I hold my leg like this? Good morning, I'm Dmytro. Good morning, I'm Vitaly. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Yulia. I am an anesthesiologist.
Tell us about today's flight. Where are we headed?
Our task is to arrive at point A, assess the patient's condition, and deliver him to point B.
And besides simply delivering, we must also do everything possible to ensure his condition doesn't worsen. We take off, fly in, pick up the wounded, stabilize him, fly back and hand him over. So the work of an anesthesiologist in such conditions is doable for you. Yes, we can't perform surgery here, but sedation, in simple words, anesthesia, we can maintain throughout the entire flight. In terms of patient care, we are fully equipped. We have all the medications and all the necessary equipment. Here, everything is like in an ambulance. Defibrillator, ventilator, monitors tracking all vital signs. A helicopter makes it possible to evacuate wounded soldiers quickly, even directly from combat zones. Army aviation has been used to evacuate the wounded in most wars, in the Second World War, and, for example, during the Vietnam War. When helicopters began to be used, survival rates increased by 90%. A total of 900,000 patients were transported by air. At the same time, the numbers are frightening. During the Vietnam War, roughly 12,000 aircraft were in service. 4,000 of them were lost, shut down from the ground. So the survival rate was pushed to about 90%, yet the losses of helicopters, medics, soldiers and pilots were enormous. That is why any flight carries many risks. And a flight during a full-scale war is a special kind of risk, a special kind of danger. Air raid alerts can be terrifying, but for me, my work is a chance to give a patient a shot at life. We look for any window to fly in and pick up the wounded. Last year, right before the New Year, we were flying back with a severe patient. And our aircraft was dropping almost to the ground because bombers were coming straight towards us. So flights during a full-scale war demand special rules and nuances of piloting. We can fly only at extremely low altitude and rise just a little where there are obstacles and drop again. Here the altitude is about 10 meters, 15 at most. It's all for safety, so that we stay unseen. Sometimes it feels like you are about to brush the treetops. This is what medical evacuation looks like every single day. Despite the war, despite the shelling, despite the dangers, doctors and pilots take risks to save the lives of our soldiers.
Even the Foreign Legion, when they see these landscapes, say your country is truly beautiful. It changes so much with every season, and it takes your breath away when you have the chance to absorb it all.
But today the main mission is to evacuate the wounded. What do you know about the patient we are heading to?
This patient is under medication in serious and unstable condition.
Where are we? Already? We'll land at point A. Where exactly, we cannot say. That is classified, as is the time we spent in the air. We take the patient on board. I clamped it. Give it. Easy, friend. As soon as the patient is inside, the doctors immediately connect the ventilators, supply oxygen, and hook up the monitors to track all vital parameters. What about me?
Put your hand down.
My hands, legs, do they work all right? Yes. For sure?
It will be, yes. Anatolich, we are ready.
Ready for takeoff, yeah?
Yes, we have already set up the monitoring and switched all the needed medications for the patient, and we simply report this to the pilots. The pilots check their data to see if they have clearance now. We don't have clearance yet.
One is in. We are waiting.
We're just waiting for the other aircraft.
What can you say now?
Regarding the patient, the condition is unstable.
It's a blast injury, right?
Yes. The impact came somewhere on this side. fragment injuries to the chest, abdomen, and the right buttock and thigh. The patient is on oxygen support. Saturation is 100 already. We can lower it a bit.
The patient is loaded. We take off fast.
Feeling sick?
A little.
A little.
Can I make a call?
A call?
Yeah.
Let us get you delivered first, and then at the ward you can call. All right? He is worried whether his phone is still with him because he is not sure anyone from his group is alive. He wants to reach his brothers in arms to find them.
When they were loading him into the helicopter, he asked, "What about me?" As if for the first time. It really felt like he was asking for the first time, "What about me? Are my hands, my legs whole?" When he was wounded, they put him into a drug-induced coma, and until yesterday he had just been sleeping. And then he woke up with no real understanding of where he was. Yesterday you were in a trench, and today you open your eyes and you are already in a helicopter. You've just said something many people don't truly realize. It is terrifying and hard to imagine that every single day, many men and women wake up like this. In a hospital, on a train, in a helicopter, in other places, and only at that moment understand that something has happened. We fly every day, and we have seen so many different clinical cases. So we are ready for anything that may happen to us or patients in flight. How long have you worked in the medevac service?
Since 24.
Do you have a family?
Yes, I have a husband. He is surgeon. And we have a son, 4 years old.
What does your husband say when you head back to the airfield?
He worries about me, especially after the massive Russian attacks, when they hit us with everything they have. Feeling dizzy? Oh, I see. Just a moment.
The patient is still unstable because right before getting into the helicopter, he had been in an induced coma, and now he still does not fully grasp what is happening to him.
My husband says he worries every morning, but for now, I simply cannot leave this work.
We are landing now for refueling. The refueling happens in a classified spot. A tanker just drives into a field and the process starts. This is done so that the enemy does not know where the helicopter is refueled, because they hunt them. It is a target for our enemy too. Yulia, we were fucking told to take off only after the all clear. How is our wounded?
He is oxygen dependent.
And what happened? We got clearance, but only after the missile threat is lifted. Once the alert ends, we will fly on. And as long as it lasts, we wait, right? Right.
Depending on the patient's condition.
If the patient is bad, we will be asking, requesting, trying any roundabout method just to get the patient delivered. Does his condition allow us to wait a bit longer? We calculated the oxygen reserve. We can wait about an hour. After that, unfortunately, since the patient depends on oxygen, we will have to fly. We must wait for the alert to end, but if the oxygen runs low, we will be forced to take off, even during the alert. So all we can do is hope the missile threat ends earlier than the oxygen supply for the wounded man in the helicopter. As for oxygen reserves on evacuation trains, there is capacity to connect 10 patients to ventilators at the same time in specially equipped intensive care cars. As an anesthesiologist, what does this carriage allow you to do? And are there limits to what you can perform here because of the movement, or the vibration, and so on? If we compare an ambulance to an intensive care train, considering what our roads are like, the train has a huge advantage. When there is any sign of bleeding and you need to perform some procedure, we maintain constant communication with the engineers, give the command, coordinate, and the train is stopped. And the medics have a few minutes to carry out whatever intervention is needed. Still, doctors often show remarkable ingenuity and do everything on the move. The nurses, the girls, They are something else. Once we were riding and we needed a venous line to start an IV. The train was shaking on the move. I asked, Ola, how do you even do that? And she said, well, I hooked my knees against the cart, locked myself in place, and now I sway together with the patient. Ah, so they adapted. You lock yourself to the bed with your knees and it rocks you together. Yes, together with the patient, just like that, and you can already perform the procedure. It turns out the idea of creating an operating room inside such a train was discussed as well. But to perform a surgery, the train would have to stop for a long time, saving one person while dozens of patients would have to wait. It is much faster and more efficient if an urgent surgery is needed on the move, to stop near the closest town and take the wounded by ambulance to a medical facility. Within those 20 to 30 minutes after the train stops, the patient will already be in a hospital setting. Stopping the whole train, delaying the evacuation for everyone does not make sense. And as we have already seen, the safety and health of the wounded on this train always come first. Good afternoon. I wanted to take a photo with you. You want a photo? As a keepsake, yes. What is your name? Arthur. What happened to you? Stepped on a mine. POM2. The one that throws out the threads. POM2 is a mine that automatically sets its own supports and stretches wire traps between them, each up to 10 meters long. After detonation, and a single touch is enough, steel fragments scatter within a radius of 16 meters. My brother-in-arms walked past, somehow stepped over it, and I followed and caught it. A ringing hit my ears. My mate didn't realize what happened and started running forward. He thought I was running behind him. I started shouting that I wounded. He understood I was not going to run. He turned back, put a tourniquet on me, and started dragging me to the nearest shelter. We lay under the bushes for 4 hours. After 4 hours, an evacuation vehicle arrived. They loaded me into the car and took me to the medical company. What is injured? My legs, head, neck. He's on external fixation now. Will the legs be saved? Yes. My legs will be good, it's just a scratch. Is this your first wound or not? The second. First was a BOR2, the paralytic gas. What are you thinking about? To get home and eat some borscht with sallow. If I can carry the weight I used to carry, my backpack around 60 kilograms, I will keep doing my job. I truly like it. How old are you? 24. You are very young. Everything is still ahead for you. I joined the army at 21. What would you want to tell the future generations? That war is very cruel, and no one can even imagine how cruel. How many people die? How many are wounded? Of course, I wish it were not like this. But anyway, where are we to run if this is our home? Where could we flee from our own home? God grant that your legs recover so well that you can run and jump again. Thank you. Glad to talk. Take care. Thank you. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. May I speak with you? Yes. What is your name? Serhiy. Serhiy, when were you wounded? Around last Friday. A week already, right? Yes. What happened? I don't know, a flash. A hit to the leg. I felt myself losing balance. So the blood fell, put on the tourniquet, and that's it. How many hours was the tourniquet on? 8. Oh, 8 is far too much. The thing is, a tourniquet is applied for 2 hours. After 2 hours, there must be a tourniquet check. They managed to evacuate me in time, but the leg was amputated. They couldn't save it. Brutal. But alive. But alive, so you can look at it pessimistically or optimistically, right? Of course. They taught bears to ride bicycles, so why wouldn't I learn to drive a car with a prosthetic or what? Driving is the main thing? Yes, I don't care, I need to drive. I'm a driver. Since '94, when I got my license officially, and I've been driving ever since, unofficially, since childhood, right? Right. That is why you immediately said, I can still start the car, thank God. Driving is important to you. Yes, so I depend on no one. Your line about the bears and bicycles really cheered me up. That's life. If you were to talk about this war now, so that future generations would know what it was really like, what would you say? That it is real hell. It is people being ground into the earth, nothing more. No one will be better off because of it, only worse. You're not going back to the front. Well, basically my work was repairing equipment, a technical support platoon in a tank battalion. I've got hands and you don't need legs to tighten nuts. You are a very strong person. It only looks that way. And what is your source of strength after all? Wow, quite a big family. Let me show it. This is your wife? My daughter, son-in-law, and grandson. Daughter, son-in-law, and grandson, thank you for their conversation. You're welcome. Sorry for distracting you. It's all right. Wishing you a fast recovery. Thank you. And may I have a selfie? Of course you may. I'm a bit not quite... Let me fix my hair. Let me take it. It'll be easier for me. I'll hold it like this. All right. Oh, perfect. A person who knows how to do this. There. All right. Thank you. Wish you health. Have a good day. Good luck to you. Good luck. We must wait for the alert to end. But if the oxygen starts to run out, we will be forced to fly even during the alert. That is why this job, medical evacuation by air, is extremely, extremely dangerous.
You're doing really well.
And you'll learn it over this flight. Have you flown during an alert before? Yes, more than once. We've seen airheads and missiles and fighter jets, everything that flies in our sky. We got clearance, yes? Yes. So the alert ended? No. We're flying during the alert, but we stay coordinated with air defense forces, right? Yes. Taking off. We're flying in a helicopter during an air raid alert. A risk for the pilots, for the doctors, for the patients, but there is no other choice. A patient who was in an induced coma only yesterday cannot be taken to a hospital by road. We are again at extremely low altitude. And besides that, during an alert, navigation works poorly both on the roads and in the air. So we have to fly relying on regular maps, the landscape, the pilot's experience and their memory. So our air defense does not see us. Along this route, all units have been notified. The speed is quite high, and to make sure our air defense does not hit the helicopter, we must stay in very tight coordination with all military services.
Vitaly, how much is left in the tank?
40%. So we definitely don't have enough oxygen for one more stop. Are you nervous?
I am. Yes.
In the next episode, watch how those who have lived through hell begin to recover. My foot doesn't work, I can't lift it up. Now we'll push a little. More. Come on, Sanya, more. Real adventures for veterans. This is how rehab on the Dnipro looks, friends.
I can once again control at least something in my life.
And where does this incredibly difficult journey begin? The main thing is that I'm alive, I'm going home. Targeted evacuation saves precious time. But what do you do when there is no time? Fly again and save again. Yes, there is a mission and we fulfill it. Don't miss it.
No. You can't get up.
The World Inside Out with Dmytro Komarov, Ukraine.